Okay guys, here's another super short vlog. They're starting to get shorter now because there's not time for much else, and also because of this hectic kind of micro time boxed lifestyle, I guess my thought process has adapted to that, and so I'm coming up with bite-sized ideas that I really want to share. And it's kind of a shame, it does worry me a little bit that everything is becoming bite-sized, but it's better than having idle time, I think, because in a lot of bite sizes you can create something huge, as opposed to larger chunks with many ideas, but that are not really applicable or maybe worth as much as the little gold nuggets. So anyway, this one's about self-transformation, and I want to say something that's actually really, really risky to say, because of course it might apply to a very, very tiny minority of people. I'm very, very well aware, painfully aware, through own experience, suffering loss and that of others, and my loss of others, that things like mental health and personal struggles are very real, very valid, and always to be taken seriously and respected and handled professionally and individually, custom tailored to that person's needs. However, there are some of us, and I say only some of us, and also this is by no means any suggestion that one is better than the other, right? There's just some of us who happen to be different, just different in the way that we're more plastic in the official precise meaning of the word, which is malleable, it's adaptable, transformable, and like everything, it's a double-edged sword. It has its pros and its cons. Having a high level of plasticity can also lead to a lack of identity, to feeling lost, to feeling overwhelmed, to being too impressionable, easy to manipulate. Everything has its dark sides, but plasticity allows some of us to reinvent ourselves almost at will. And in combination with discipline and structure, it can allow you to kind of install and set up a new operating system and a new person that you want to be, a new way that you want to think, to feel, whatever it happens to be. And I think we have to be particularly careful in how we communicate with others and how we understand and try to support and have empathy for the struggles of others, because not everyone can just snap their fingers and change the way they are or think or function or feel. And this has been a recurring struggle in my life. I actually can't find the place that I'm going to but I think I had to turn back in there. And so for me it can be incredibly frustrating to see people suffer under the same habits or struggles or lack of willpower, procrastination, whatever it is, that I have managed to break out of. And I know it took me a lot of iterations in some cases, and sometimes it still comes back. But it's almost non-existent, because at some point I found for me internally the key to this feeling. I unlocked this feeling of I've had enough. Sometimes it requires for you to have hit rock bottom to be able to unlock that. Sounds like a video game. Maybe it is. And so there are many, many aspects of my life and self where I was able to be like, you know what? No. And just get rid of it. And so it's hard to give advice then to someone who is actually struggling and who's not able to do that yet, or maybe never will. And also being able to accept that, especially when you're close friends or you're in a relationship. Just like they try to accept my other struggles, because I'm not perfect. Just talking about one specific thing. All right, just to be really, really, really clear. And I would really love to find the key to this plasticity. Maybe it's more on the physical realm than the mental one, psycho-emotional. Things like food, brain build-up, your neurological characteristics. Who knows? We're starting to make progress in that area as a species, and that's super exciting. Like understanding ourselves and the most complex known objects in the universe, that we don't really understand yet. But yeah, what do I actually want to say here? Let me take a moment. Well, in general, of course, everyone should have empathy for everyone else's process, however that looks like. And I think the more advice we share openly and publicly and respectfully, the more we'll continue to build the impressively rapidly growing library of human knowledge that is being shared thanks to the internet, freely accessible to everyone. Yeah, and it could be really lonely having achieved a lot of self-transformation, because you basically shed your old or original identity. So, if you've managed to change one aspect here, and you change one aspect there, and you change another thing, and you're approaching more and more of the kind of person you want to be, maybe that person ends up having almost nothing in common with the person you were born or you were for a long time. And so it's hard to maintain the original relationships. It's hard to also come to terms with your new self-image. Yeah, and hard to find people, because, where do you go to find the people who naturally already were the way you've become? Does that make sense? Okay, so let's say that in my personal case, I was born pretty privileged, but in Mexico, with a certain culture, and moved a lot, and transformed a lot, changed a lot. So now the way that I am is maybe more similar or somehow equivalent to people born into a certain niche of another country and who are, let's say, interested in a certain type of work. And that just happens to align so that we have the same characteristics. Okay, so just to figure out where to go and find those people can take ages, because they weren't around me. Otherwise, I would have also been like that. I wouldn't have had to become like that. Yeah. So lots of thoughts on that topic. I bet more will come. For now, I have to go. Thank you for listening. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.